Congress is back with a jam-packed agenda before the end of the calendar year.
KCAU-9 Washington correspondent Jesse Tenner tells us more about what lawmakers are hoping to accomplish over the next 2 years.
Good evening. Lawmakers are facing a lengthy to-do list, from government funding to same-sex marriage, even as some states are continuing to count their ballots. Democrats clinched control of the Senate, but exactly which party controls the House remains up in the air. Newly elected members of Congress are arriving in Washington for orientation.
The Senate will come to order
As sitting lawmakers return to the Capitol to try to finish their year-end business.
There's a lot to do, a lot to say.
We're going to fight hard for the American families this administration is leaving behind.
Funding the government remains the #1 priority for both parties, with a looming deadline on December 16th.
We can't let the government shut down.
it is critically important that we pass the budget.
While Democrats like Congressman Emanuel Cleaver and Brad Schneider still control both chambers, they also plan to debate the defense authorization bill, Ukraine aid, electoral college reform, and same-sex marriage.
This would be also a good time for us to try to codify some things.
Before the midterms, President Joe Biden promised if Democrats picked up seats, the first bill he would send to Congress would enact a nationwide right to abortion.
I don't think there's enough votes to codify.
But following his meeting Monday in Indonesia with his Chinese counterpart, President Biden acknowledged his party did not gain enough ground to make that happen.
We're going to get very close in the House, but I think it's going to be very close, but I don't think we're going to make it.
Right now, more than a dozen House races remain uncalled, but it is looking like Republicans are going to take back control of that chamber. And even though Democrats have maintained control of the Senate, there's still not enough support to get rid of that filibuster rule, that 60-vote threshold needed to consider legislation like abortion access. In Washington, I'm Jesse Tenor.